World War II, the deadliest conflict in human history, raged from 1939 to 1945. It involved more than 100 million people from over 30 countries, making it a truly global war. It engulfed nations across the globe, leaving a trail of devastation and forever altering the course of human events. Cities were reduced to rubble and entire populations were displaced. The war was a clash of ideologies, a battle between democracy and tyranny, and a testament to the resilience and destructive capacity of mankind. It was a struggle for power, freedom, and survival. The seeds of this global conflict were sown in the aftermath of World War I. The world was left in a fragile state with unresolved tensions simmering beneath the surface. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to ensure peace, instead bred resentment and instability. It imposed harsh penalties on Germany, which many felt were unjust and excessive. Germany, burdened by crippling reparations and territorial losses, became fertile ground for extremist ideologies. Economic hardship and national humiliation fueled anger and desperation. The rise of Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party, fueled by nationalist fervor and a thirst for revenge, set the stage for another devastating war. Hitler's promises of restoring Germany's former glory resonated with a populace eager for change. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I. However, it also sowed the seeds of future conflict. Germany, held responsible for the war, was forced to accept blame, cede territory, and pay heavy reparations. These punitive measures crippled the German economy and fueled resentment among its population. The treaty also redrew the map of Europe, creating new nations and igniting ethnic tensions. The League of Nations, formed to prevent future wars, proved ineffective in addressing the underlying causes of conflict. Economic depression and political instability further exacerbated tensions, creating an environment ripe for extremism and aggression. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, marking the official start of World War II. Hitler's forces, employing a new military tactic known as Blitzkrieg, or lightning war, swiftly overwhelmed the Polish defenses. Blitzkrieg relied on speed, surprise, and overwhelming force, using tanks, aircraft, and mobile infantry to break through enemy lines and create chaos. France and Great Britain, bound by treaties to defend Poland, declared war on Germany 2 days later. However, their response was initially hesitant and ineffective. Germany, emboldened by its early success, continued its westward advance, conquering Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, and finally France in a matter of months. World War II was a truly global conflict, with battles fought on land, sea, and air across multiple continents. In Europe, the war raged from the icy plains of Russia to the deserts of North Africa. In Asia, Japan, allied with Germany and Italy in the Axis powers, launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7, 1941, drawing the United States into the war. The United States, with its vast industrial capacity and manpower, played a decisive role in the Allied victory. American factories churned out weapons and supplies, while American soldiers, sailors, and airmen fought alongside their allies on multiple fronts. The war at sea, particularly in the Atlantic, was crucial in determining the outcome of the conflict. Section 5, Turning the Tide: Key Battles and Allied Victories. This section delves into the pivotal moments that shifted the balance of power during World War II. The tide of the war began to turn in favor of the Allies in 1942 and 1943. These years were marked by significant victories that bolstered Allied morale and weakened Axis resolve. The Battle of Midway, fought in June 1942, was a decisive naval victory for the United States over Japan. This battle showcased the strategic brilliance of the US Navy and crippled Japan's naval capabilities, marking a turning point in the Pacific War. The victory at Midway shifted the momentum, allowing the Allies to take the offensive in the Pacific theater. In North Africa, British and American forces defeated the German and Italian armies. This victory was crucial in securing the Mediterranean and opening a new front against the Axis powers, paving the way for the Allied invasion of Italy in 1943. The successful campaigns in North Africa and Italy demonstrated the growing strength and coordination of the Allied forces. On the Eastern Front, the Soviet Union, despite suffering staggering losses, fought tenaciously against the German invaders. The resilience and determination of the Soviet forces were instrumental in halting the German advance, fought tenaciously against the German invaders. The brutal urban warfare and harsh winter conditions tested the limits of both armies. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought from August 1942 to February 1943, was a turning point in the war in Europe. This grueling battle resulted in a catastrophic defeat for the German forces, was a turning point in the war in Europe. The victory at Stalingrad not only boosted Soviet morale, but also marked the beginning of a relentless Soviet advance westward. The Soviet victory at Stalingrad marked the beginning of the end for Germany's eastern ambitions. The relentless Soviet push from this point onwards would eventually lead to the fall of Berlin and the end of the war in Europe. Section 6. The Eastern Front. A grueling struggle for supremacy. The Eastern Front, stretching from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea, was the site of some of the most brutal and decisive battles of World War II. This vast expanse of land witnessed unimaginable destruction and loss of life, as both sides fought with relentless determination. The German invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941, codenamed Operation Barbarossa, was one of the largest military operations in history. It involved millions of soldiers, thousands of tanks and aircraft, aiming to crush the Soviet Union swiftly. The Germans, initially successful, were eventually bogged down by fierce Soviet resistance, harsh weather conditions, and logistical difficulties. The brutal winter of 1941 to 42 played a significant role in halting the German advance, as their troops were ill-prepared for the freezing temperatures. The Battle of Kursk, fought in July 1943, was the largest tank battle in history. It was a pivotal moment, with thousands of tanks clashing in a desperate struggle for dominance. The Soviet victory at Kursk marked the end of major German offensive operations on the Eastern Front. This decisive battle shifted the balance of power, allowing the Soviets to take the initiative. From that point onward, the Red Army steadily pushed westward, liberating Soviet territory and eventually reaching Berlin in April 1945. The relentless advance of the Red Army was instrumental in the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany, bringing an end to the war in Europe. Section 7. The Pacific. Theater island hopping and atomic bombs. The Pacific theater of World War II was characterized by fierce naval battles, island hopping campaigns, and the use of atomic bombs. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States embarked on a strategy of island hopping, capturing strategically important islands in the Pacific to establish air bases and cut off Japanese supply lines. The battles for Iwo Jima and Okinawa, fought in 1945, were particularly costly for both sides. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15, 1945, and marking the end of World War II. Section 8. The Holocaust, a dark chapter of human history. Amidst the horrors of World War II, the Holocaust stands as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity. The Nazis, driven by their racist ideology, systematically murdered 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable, including Roma, homosexuals, and political opponents. The Holocaust was a genocide of unprecedented scale and brutality, carried out in concentration camps, extermination camps, and through mass shootings. The horrors of the Holocaust serve as a stark warning against the dangers of hatred, intolerance, and unchecked power. Section 9. Victory and its aftermath, a new world order. World War II ended with the unconditional surrender of Germany on May 8, 1945, and Japan on August 15, 1945. The war had a profound impact on the world, reshaping the geopolitical landscape and ushering in a new era. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged from the conflict as superpowers, their rivalry shaping the Cold War that followed. The war also led to the formation of the United Nations, an international organization dedicated to maintaining peace and security. The Nuremberg Trials held after the war established the principle of individual accountability for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Section 10. The legacy of World War II, shaping the modern world. World War II left an enduring legacy on the world. It led to the decline of European colonialism, the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers, and the creation of a new international order. The war also spurred technological advancements, particularly in aviation, nuclear energy, and medicine. The lessons learned from World War II, particularly the importance of international cooperation, diplomacy, and human rights, continue to shape the world today. The war serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of striving for peace. Section 11. Remembering the past lessons learned and the importance of peace. As we reflect on the 80th anniversary of World War II, it is essential to remember the sacrifices made by those who fought and died in the conflict. We must also learn from the mistakes of the past and work to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. The lessons of World War II, particularly the importance of tolerance, understanding, and respect for human dignity, remain as relevant today as they were 80 years ago. By remembering the past and working towards a more peaceful future, we honor the memory of those who perished and strive to create a better world for all.